Hi, good afternoon and welcome to Toria's Cozy Tales. I'm Vicky. I live in Derby in the United Kingdom and it's Monday the 10th of March today. Normally I'd be at work, however, I'm on holiday this week and we'll talk about a bit more about that in life stuff coming up towards the end. I am going to apologise if the lighting's not brilliant. It's a very grey day out there. After a beautiful sunny weekend, it's a bit grotty. Also, if my voice goes a little bit, it is still recovering from that virus I had a couple of weeks ago. So, I have one finished object this fortnight, just the one, and that's my socks for February for the Socks You Know It This Long run by Amanda at Little ICAC. So we have one sock, which you saw last time complete, and we have two socks. So we have a pair of adult socks, which go together, and they pretty well, as you can see, do pretty well match. They're a bit big for these blockers because they are about an 8-9. The blockers are about 7 because I felt these probably were more masculine colours. And as I'm doing a box of gifts for people, I thought some socks that were more masculine would be good. But not only do we have a pair of adult socks, we also have a pair of baby socks. These, again, the matching's pretty good on them till the end. And that's because right at the end, I can't remember which one it is, but one of them I ran out of yarn on the toe and had to use the bit I'd wound off to make the adult socks match. I actually ended up with about 2 grams of yarn in a little nugget. So this yarn is the West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply, and it's one of their Yarndale colourways, and it's Brenda. So yeah, Brenda was the 2024 sheep, which, as I said last time, is a year I actually went to Yarndale. Unfortunately, I can't show the nugget that was left because I had an accident and threw coffee over it. So that's my finished object. So I've actually worked on a number of different projects over the last 2 weeks, partially depending how my mood went. Partially depending on what headspace I had and what was out and easily grabbable. So I'm going to start with the cardigan that I showed you last time. That's this one. So last time I showed you this rib, and sorry, it's got caught in the bag. I was just about there on the rib. So since I've done that, I have now got a little bit more of the back. So this is the back of the cardigan. It is go all the way across. I have reduced down a size from where I was making last time. This is using the weekly advent from Truly Hooked from 2024. You've got week 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's purely because I didn't want it to fade and then jump. And the pattern I'm making with this, as I say, it is beautiful. I love the colours, and I really love the hexagon effect as well, is this King Cole pattern 5732. However, yes, it's a plain stocking stitch, and funnily enough, that's not plain stocking stitch. It's got a hexagon on it, and that's because when I first saw the yarn, the first thing I thought of was doing this hexagon pattern, which instructions for this actually are from a Serdar pattern for a children's cardigan. I actually made this cardigan for my younger niece for Christmas 23, because every year I make my nieces a jumper or cardigan for Christmas. If they tell me they don't want it in the future, that's fine. But at the moment, certainly she enjoys wearing them, and I think her sister does as well. So I am on the back. We hand move the marker. I've got a way to go. I think I've got 3 or 4 more repeats before we get to the underarms, and then we've got the back as well. Sorry, I just need a quick drink. So yeah, I did a bit of that. It then got put away because the cleaner was coming, and I haven't had it out since, to be honest. It's a little bit fiddly because I've got 5 balls of yarn attached to it, so It's not something I take out and about particularly. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I've actually got a half finished object to show you. And this is my November Mist fingerless mitt. It's on the blocker there. You can just see the cabling. It's beautiful, and the colour work is beautiful. The yarn is beautiful colours. It's got a real nice tonal and sort of mixture of colours in it. If I put it on, you can probably see the cable detail a bit better. Now, I am going to say I like the pattern cabling. I don't actually think the pattern's particularly well written, and it's not a pattern I'd recommend to anyone who was new to cabling or wasn't clear what they were doing. There's only one size of glove in the pattern. There's a couple of errors. There's some bits that aren't clear, particularly when you get to doing the left glove. So I'm not a pattern I'm going to particularly recommend or advise who created it. But not only do I have that one finished, and as I say, that the butterfly marker here is where I was last time I showed you this. I also have just a little bit. Sorry, it's getting caught in the bag because I've got these little star stitch stoppers on my needles just to stop it falling off in the bag. We have a little bit of the next one. This butterfly is just so I know where the top of the rib is. I don't need to know anymore. So I'm going to move it. So that we can see where I am today. And we'll take the one out of there. I'm going to apologise if you just heard some rather fruity language from the street. I do live in a terraced house straight onto a street, so we do get people walking past. So yes, I've done quite a bit of that, which I'm really pleased with. I'd quite like to get that finished relatively soon, but we'll come on to plans in a bit. So then, last time I showed you all my squares for my crochet blanket, and I said there were 2 that I hadn't done. So I have now done square 12, and that's one of them. There. The second one is, I'll get this out. There's loads of ends I haven't sewn ends in, I'm going to be honest. The second one is there. Now you can see that's got some black around it. This blanket has progressed. I know I said I was going away with friends over the weekend, and it came with me. And we now have, try and get this, 4. And the next 4, 8, 12. So 12 of the squares are joined together, edge down joined together, which is, yeah, I'm really, really pleased with. So, yeah, some help with some friends, some natural light. It was really nice. It was nice and bright as well, which helped. So, yeah. What else have I worked on? Yeah, I've worked on another 3 of my outstanding projects. I know I talked about the Lauder cardigan, and when I showed you this, this is by Rebecca Crow of the Creabea, and this is a brilliant pattern. I'm really enjoying it. And when I showed you it before, we had the back down to this marker here. So the back's grown, but not only do we have the back, we have the shoulders and both fronts. I love how this cabling detail just comes down the front here, particularly with the V-neck. It's beautiful. So you can see it's a V-neck there. It's joined under the arms, just. So it's now a case of knit down. This is in a grey yarn. I believe it's a merino. I'm just moving the progress keeper. It was from a company called Riverside Knits, I think. I think that's what they're called anyway. They were at a lot of the yarn shows, and they sell leftover yarn, oddments of yarn. This was 500 grams of grey merino, and it's only about 20 quid, 25 quid. They are incredibly cheap what they sell, so it tends to be the ends of runs and things. There's no ball bands or anything, it's literally labelled. So really like that one. As I say, I finished the February socks. I finished them on the 27th of February, so a couple of days before the end of the month, which I was really pleased at. But then I was on Zoom and I was like, I've got no simple round and round, not think about knitting, not look at knitting, which was a bit of a problem. So I went, okay, what's sitting in, you can't really see it, but there's a Kallax unit to my right here that has most of my yarn and most of my knitting stuff in. And there are two cubbies that are projects that are on the needles or the hooks. One is very much what's on the needles from my 12 cast-ons. The other one is all older projects. I'm not showing you because it's a mess at the moment. One of my jobs this week is to try and tidy up and sort it out and see if I can condense and possibly get rid of it a little bit. So this is something that was an older project. And I was trying to do it as a present for Christmas last year. So it's very simple, knit round in a circle basically. Similar to things like the Litmus Cow. But the idea is it's one skein of 4-ply yarn, not colours I'd necessarily knit for a sock or anything else, but once it's all knitted, join the ends together. It's going to be a double loop cow, great for a present. This is a yarn from, I think it's from Rose's Moments, and I think it's one I got in one of her mystery boxes at a show, but don't quote me on that because it's been in my stash for quite a long time. I dug for some stuff last year that was like, I'm not going to use in socks, let's use some. So yeah, you can see the colours are beautiful in it. That's where it was when it came off the needles onto try on tubing, because I needed the needles and cables for my 12 cast-ons because I didn't have enough. And it's got some really nice hot air balloon stitch toppers, which are actually, yeah, they're a new purchase, but I like them. And this one's got the same as I did the same on this as I've done on the Tesla cow, that I used Judy's Magic cast on in the round, so that's what's sitting on here, ready for me to just graft when I get to the end. Don't know when I'm going to work on this one again. It's in a project bag from my Yarny Corner. They don't always have project bags, but yeah, I managed to snaffle this one because it's beautiful. Because it is one that sort of when I've got time or I'm looking for something simple and I've not got anything on the go, grab and go. I would like to get this done relatively soon, but we'll see what happens. Okay, sorry, just needed a drink there. There's one more of my current projects that I've worked on over the last 2 weeks, and that was my Tesla cow, which is here. So last time you saw it, I'll turn it that way you can see, I was where this butterfly is, so I just put 2 colours in. I've now put 4 colours in. I've just started on the 5th, and the plan is just to rotate around them. The only reason it's got this little marker on that says 100 is because I needed to label the mini skeins so that I knew which one was which, because in the dark it's not always clear or the light's not so brilliant in the evenings. And I only had markers that said 20, 40, 60, 80 and 100, so that's what I've used. So that's the marker to tell me what colour I'm working on, and then it'll go on the mini skein when I finish that. And we'll move the butterfly marker up so we can see where I am today. So that's all the whips that I've picked up and worked on over the last 2 weeks. It's quite a few. There's one more project that I did cast on. As I say, I'm taking part in the Stock You Know It Knits Along with Amanda, and each month I choose a new sock yarn to use. This month, as I said last time, I was at the hairdressers on the 1st of March, so wasn't sure whether I'd start it then. However, that was the morning my body decided 5 o'clock was a time I should wake up, which I was not happy with. But it did give me a chance to choose my new sock yarn before I went to the hairdressers. So the sock yarn that came out this month was actually another West Yorkshire signature 4-ply in another Yarndale colour, and this is Nigel. And Nigel looks a bit like this. It's a very well used bowl because I have a hoe. So I have a half finished object. I have one sock complete. So this is Nigel. It's about a size 6, 6.5. I actually think this might be a Christmas present for my hairdresser because she really liked the colours when I was doing it. There. But not only do I have one sock, sorry, that's cuckoo clock. Yes, it tweets like a bird. But yeah. I have the second one where I've done the heel and I'm starting the instep decreases. It's really bizarre because I started these at exactly the same point on the yarn, and my tension has varied ever so slightly, so I've ended up slightly out on where the heel is, on the colours at the heel. But anyway, yes, so not got a lot to do before I finish that, and then obviously I've got a pair for Katie as well, so that kind of will take some time. I'm just going to put this back. This is living in this lovely bag. I really like this little bag from Pickle Lily. It's great. It's got pockets inside, which is brilliant because I can tuck my yarn label in so I know where it is. It poppers up at the top. You see, I'm just popping the top up. Handles. But what I really like on the back here, this handle unpoppers, and you pop it round a door handle in the car. You put it on something so it hangs while you're knitting, which I think is brilliant. I love it. Bought it at the Christmas Wall Show, and yeah, really enjoy using it. So that I've not used it a lot yet. It's even got a little tag that I've managed to hang on one of my little pill cases. These I use, as I say, they're sold for pill cases and things like that, but they're really good. They hold around 10 light bulb markers. So I've got my markers for my sock there. So they're there, ready to go with my sock in my handbag. Fits beautifully. It's not too big, so that's brilliant. So that's all I've been working on, which is quite a bit really. Yeah, there's been a little bit of incoming yarn this month. I'm going to start with my monthly club. As I said, ultimately I'm going to have 2 lots of monthly incoming yarns. I haven't ordered the Mouses Makes spring minis yet, and that's as much because I've ordered advent calendars from her this month, so I need to wait till I'm paid at the end of the month to order those. The other one is my Cuddle Bums mini a day. So if you're doing this and you haven't received your March box, please look away. But I have got my March box, which is got packaged with beautiful tissue paper. So you can see we've got this box full of minis here. There's 31 of those. And there is the inspiration picture as well. My goal is to finish the crochet advent blanket, which hopefully will be relatively quick. And then once that's done, I will start working on the mini a day blanket because, as I say, apart from swatching, I've not really touched it. So I would like to get on with that. But as I say, I want to get the mini a day, the advent one first, finish first. There's also been a little bit more yarn coming in. I know I said I was trying to be really mindful about what I bought and what I was using and making sure I was using things. However, I do have a bit of a weakness for self-striping sock yarn. I love it. A lot of my socks are in self-striping yarn. In fact, the pair I'm wearing today are a self-striping pair. I don't think I can get my foot up to the camera to show you. And in fact, I like it so much that last Christmas 23, my mum actually bought me a course to go and dye some self-striping yarn up at Peak District Yarns, which I did last summer, which was I really enjoyed it. And I made 2 different sets of self-striping yarn. One I've used, one is still sitting in my stash. And as much because I don't want to make socks from it. I want to do something else with it. And I've been following Spin and Bleather for a while on Instagram, and particularly this one I've seen multiple times. Not so keen on the mini skein. Love the main colour, and I've seen it, and I've seen people show it, and I've gone, oh, I want that. Really like that. No, can't afford it. Can't justify it. I've got too much yarn. No. And then she had a birthday sale, and I went down the rabbit hole. So this is the Cheshire Cat and Smile. So it's 75 grams and 25 grams. So it's enough for socks using the mini skein. I might not use that mini skein with it. I might put a solid colour. But to be honest, 75 grams, I could get a pair of socks for me out of that, no problem. And I know I said I've got a lot of socks. I think that's got to be for me. One of the things I want to do is go through my sock box and work out what I don't wear anymore, some of my older ones, and have a play with them, really. I've got some sock stops. I want to see if I can make some slippery type socks, because that I can shove on of an evening and I'm not too skiddy and things. So that's the first one I bought from them. Yeah, I bought 2. I did stop at 2. At one point there were about 4 in my basket. I stopped at 2. So that's the first one. You can see there the logo and the information. The second one I bought is this one here. You can see the colours. And this is 100 grams and it's Walking on Sunshine. I love these colours. I know it doesn't look brilliant here. Saw it knitted up on Hair Etsy shop and it looked amazing. Loved it. So yeah, definitely looking forward to knitting that up. Not sure when it'll be. Let's be honest, I don't know when I'll get around to them. But I will, even if they become part of next year's 12 cast-ons. I've got that many ideas that who knows when I get to them. But anyway, so I was quite restrained, for me anyway, and I did just buy that. And as I say, I have also bought the Mousewitch yarns advent this year, which she's got up. If you want to go and look in our kofi shop, please do. I love her. I'd say the blanket I'm doing is her advent. You can't see it, but I've got her other advent knitted up into an anthology throw, which is here. It's by me because it's covering all the junk. So this is 2023 colour play one. Just say I've done an anthology throw. I love. My mum wants to knit. I might let her once I've got a replacement. But anyway. So life, what's happened with life? Well, I've come back today from a long weekend away in Broadway, staying at a guest house with 6 friends. We're all knitters, crocheters, crafters, and we've had a really good, relaxing weekend. So we pitched up on the Friday at the guest house. It's B&B, but it's got a nice little lounge which we were able to take over. And yet, I joined all 12 of those squares this weekend. Did 3 or 2.5 on Friday night, most of the rest on Saturday and a couple on Sunday, and then got bored and wanted to work on the glove. We even sat out in the garden of the guest house. It was amazing. It's just chilled, chatted, fair bit of laughter, fair bit of drinking, snacking. Yeah, just a really good weekend. We do it every year. And for the first time, we're actually going back to the same place next year. We've already booked it. So yeah, all of us made progress on projects. Several people picked up things that had been sitting in naughty corners, and just being there and chatting was a really good way of getting through things. So that's what's happening with life. As I say, I am off work now for the rest of this week. Just sounds awful to say I'm using up my holiday, but our holiday year runs out at the end of March, and if you don't take your holiday by the end of March, you actually lose the days. So I'd saved some days in case I needed them, worked out that I wasn't going to need them, and decided I might as well just take a bit more time off after this weekend. So yeah, So I've got a few plans for this week, including trying to sort out some of the area that was my yarn storage and has expanded quite a bit. I'd quite like to get my mini spinning wheel out and have another go at that, because I really struggled with it and it's got packed away and I've just not had time to sit at it. But I also know there's quite a lot to do in the back room. Tidying up, there was a bit of a disaster last week in that my neighbour's cat got into my house and unfortunately got trapped in the house during the day. I'd had the back door open to go out in the garden and she got in without me knowing. And she's caused a bit of chaos in there, so I've got to sort that out. But yeah, from a knitting and crochet point of view, I'm hoping over the next week while I'm off work to do 2 more squares a week day onto the blanket, so that in 6 days time I've got at least all the squares attached and I've just got the edging to do, because yeah, I'd like to really hit that and get that finished by the end of March. So having all the squares attached by the end of this week is a good chance I'll manage it. I'd also like to do a bit more on the Lauder cardigan. Those rows do take a little bit more thinking about. And I've just seen some more incoming I was going to tell you about, and one of them's disappeared. Typical. I've got a few more stitch markers, so it's a bit light, shiny a bit on them, but some bunny rabbits. I've also got, I really love these. These are from 22 Pearls on Etsy. They're really tiny. They fit my 2.25mm sock needles brilliantly. I found most other stitch shoppers fall off those. They're smaller. I've got some small, they're brilliant from them, so I've got those. As I say, but yeah, going back to plans, the Lauder cardigan. I'd also quite like to get the other cable cloth done. While I've got that pattern relatively fresh in my mind, it will make it easier. But also, this is the time of year I want to be wearing them. So yeah, if I can get those finished, it'd be good. It might be a case of that's what I alternate with the blanket, just because it's smaller and I can see progress quicker. And the blanket working in black is not always easy. And the final project I want to really concentrate on over the next couple of weeks is my March sock. So Nigel, I'd like to have that adult sock finished, which is quite easily doable. I'd also like to have at least one, if not both, of the Katie socks, which would then mean I could put the green cowl into my handbag as a handbag project for the rest of the month. Saying that, I've got other ideas of socks I want to make, but you know, that would be a good place to be. So yeah, my plans for this week, as I say, quite a lot of bits around the house. If I can get stuff done tomorrow, I'm going to treat myself with a day out on Wednesday, which probably going up to National Trust Place in the north of Derbyshire, and quite possibly stopping for coffee and cake at a yarn shop on the way back. We'll see what happens. I need to go and look at the patterns at Chrissy's Crafts, because my mum wants a jumper, and she wants quite a shallow V-neck jumper. It's got to be plain because she wants me to put a picture on it. So it's really hard to look at the patterns on a Saturday when I'm there for Knit and Natter. Not because it's hard to look at them, but just purely the number of people in the shop. When it's not a huge shop, and when we're all in there, it's just easier to go and it's quiet, and I can do it on my own. Have a look. Whether I buy the pattern on Thursday or not depends on what I find. My sort of thought is probably that I will see if there's more than one that's suitable, send my mum, let her choose exactly what style she wants, which pattern, and then I can buy it. Apart from that, yeah, crafting, catching up on YouTube, catching up on Drive to Survive, because that dropped on Netflix over the weekend. And I haven't watched it yet at all because I was away, and that's been really good and sociable. And then, yeah, Grand Pro start next weekend. So again, that just gives me something that I'll sit and watch, and I always craft along to them. So be good to do that. And yeah, back at work in a week's time. which is what it is. So yeah, plans. I'd like to get some bits done. I also need to find where the baby blanket is. It's in the pile there somewhere. Oops. Again, that's partly because of when the cat was there. I was trying to find out if the cat was hiding in the yarn stash, which she didn't get into, which is really good. So yeah, a few things to do, but we'll get it done. And then, yeah, hopefully I'll be back in just under 2 weeks' time to see you all again. Bye. Oh, just a thought. Please please put a thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not. And thank you for everyone who has liked and subscribed and commented, because it does help get my channel out there. Hope your crafting goes well. Bye.